All right, we're here at the Verizon 5G Labs in London, and I have with me a very special guest. Sampath from Verizon Business is joining us. Sampath, thanks so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
So Sampath, I want to start off by asking you, big announcement. Personally, I'm not a Manchester United fan, but it's a massive announcement in terms of what you all are doing to demonstrate the potential of 5G at Old Trafford, the Manchester United Stadium. What was the genesis of that whole partnership and that thought?
Yeah, look, we are really excited about it. A lot of this comes from our heritage in equipping stadiums in the US. One of the things we are seeing, there are 3 or 4 things happening in stadium technology that we should be aware of. First is outside big games like the finals and the semi-finals, attendance in stadiums going down. The second piece is when people are at the stadium, 70-80% of them are checking their phones. Either to post something, to brag about something, to take pictures, to a point where they almost forget what's going on in the field out there. The last is the overall stadium experience hasn't changed in 2000 years. The Roman Colosseum, people came, they killed each other, they went home. The only thing, people don't die there, but the overall stadium experience is exactly the same. So we said we want to transform the stadium experience. So we've done it with a few, we've done it with almost 30 stadiums in the US. The last one has been the SoFi Stadium in LA, where they had the Super Bowl, the big NFL finals, if you will. And in that stadium, what we did was we created this massive network, very dense network where everyone, 60,000 people can post high-def videos, photographs at the same time. And there are like 10 different applications that enabled. Same concept. We're going to take it to the Manchester United at Old Trafford. It's an old stadium, 74,410 people. That's the capacity of the stadium. We want every one of them to be able to stream data. And you create a platform. What does the platform do? Crowd access, crowd control, security, concession stands, analytics, AR, VR. It's enormous and almost endless. So we want to get the platform right. We're really excited about Manchester United. We want to bring that expertise and build a pretty large global practice on stadium and venues.
So you've covered football, like they say in the US, soccer, as they'd say out here, though we call it football. And then my next natural question to you would be, what about cricket at Wankhede in Mumbai?
Yeah, look, I think cricket's the best game of the lot. It's an intense game. It's also one that is very fan-driven. So look, over a period of time, we'll get better at it. Right now, we just finished the US. We're now in Europe. But look, we have no plans as such. But look, Asia is definitely in our zone.
Okay, so that segues us into the next part of the conversation. What are Verizon's plans for India? Because, you know, we talk about it and a lot of the end consumers watching and viewers of the show would always ask the question, when we're talking about 5G, the talk in India is all about, well, spectrum allocation. And then now there's try recommendations when it comes to private 5G allocations of network. So where does Verizon come into this? Are you guys viewing that with any sort of optimism, so to speak?
Yes, look, our play in India is pretty multifold. One, we do some of our most sensitive and complex technology work in India. Technology development, product development, network development, some of our more complex systems get developed in India. We love that. For me, it's a talent play. There are very few countries in the world that have the depth of talent, the breadth of talent, the availability of talent that India has. So I'm very excited about that. Nothing I do is going to change that. So that's one. Our play in Asia Pacific more broadly is around 3 themes. The first is network as a service. So you have ambitious Indian companies, ambitious Asian companies that want to go and capture US and European markets. We want to help them. We want to tell them, hey, we'll take care of your network needs. You focus on building your business. Let the network be for us. So that's a big business. We call it network as a service. The second one is cyber. Cyber knows no boundaries. As geopolitical tensions get worse, there's more risk of cyber. We run some of the most complex cyber operations in the world. The core of that is 1/3 of the world's internet flows through our network. So we get to see things way before other people do. So cyber is a big play for us in APAC, and it's one of our largest regions in the company for cyber as well. The last one is private 5G, which is kind of the question you asked. And for us, private 5G is the power of 5G in a private setting that can be controlled by the enterprise. So whether it's ports, warehouses, venues, stadium, hospitals, we're bullish. So 3 big plays in Asia Pacific. It's a growing market for us, and we want to support ambitious Asian companies.
Sampath, now as Chief Revenue Officer of a business of over $30 billion, I have to ask you the obvious question. When you're talking about so many partnerships in the 5G space, this looks like a capital-intensive business. A lot has to be invested in infrastructure. There's so much of policy communication as well. So when you're talking about something like 5G, how does a company like Verizon plan for the next few years to actually monetize something like this? Where do you make all the money?
Yeah, look, it's a big question. You and my CFO keep asking me that same question. Look, between 2021, 22, and 23, we would have invested $120 billion. And we feel really comfortable about the investment. This is the question everyone asks me, how are we going to pay this back? Three big things for us. First is mobility in the US. We are a market share leader there. In the B2B space, I have 45% share. Typically, when we are the first in market in a new technology, we take share. It's a pretty simple thing. We've done that with 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G. We do that with 5G. It's a play. We know how to do it. Pretty straightforward for us. Second is fixed wireless access, using wireless as a credible broadband player. It is a new business for us. We're offering it nationally across 30 million homes, 2 million businesses. It's a pretty big business. The TAM is massive. The third one is MEC, mobile edge compute, where you take the power of 5G network with latency and low latency as well as high speed and integrate it with the cloud providers. We have partnerships. I think the only carrier in the world, we have partnerships with all three of the cloud guys, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. So you have three business models all put together that's going to pay for 5G. But what's interesting is as every day goes by, we feel more and more confident about our investment.
Fair enough. Now, for those of you watching on Business Today TV and Tech Today, something you don't know about Sampath is he's also a LinkedIn influencer. And on LinkedIn, when you're making all your predictions, or some of them turn out to be true, now I want you to give us an exclusive, a world exclusive here on this show, and tell us 2 or 3 trends that you see shaping, and not necessarily 5G. It could be a cricket analogy that you want to use. It could be anything that's going on in your mind, so that all of us get an idea about what your next LinkedIn post is going to be.
Yeah, look, let me start with cricket. India is going to win the T20 World Cup. I'm very confident. I'm very excited about that, but I know that's not the topic of today. Look, a couple of key themes. The first one is around crypto and Web 3.0. We love the technology. It's really cool. I want to know what problem it solves.
I was going to ask you this question.
I want to know what problem it solves. We like the technology. It works really cool. And as a nerd like me, it's even exciting. But we are not clear what exactly problem it solves. We seem to be going around the issue, but we're not solving the problem. So I think that's one. Second is work from home. As more and more people work from home, we think 1/3 of corporate real estate is going to be vacant. People are not going to come back. And what does that mean for real estate companies? What does that mean for company culture? So I think that's going to be a pretty big thing. The third one I'll talk about is metaverse. Metaverse is going to grow. I don't know when and how, and I don't think anyone does. But the 2 important things we need for metaverse are high speed and very low latency, which is coincidentally exactly what 5G does. So those are my 3 big predictions. The first one, I'm going to put it off the record, but the other 3 are on record.
Fair enough. Sampath, thanks so much for joining us. And we had a fascinating day with you, understanding some of these things. And of course, thanks for this chat as well.
We would love to have you back.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share, and subscribe.